It's called undo, so you undo the things that happened that led to this event. Now, let me walk you through how the game is set up and what the different cards are. I won't really tell you a lot more about gameplay other than some generalities because I don't want to give away how you work your way through this particular game. But essentially, there are 25 large cards, which I have all in the stack right here. And you have 60 small cards, which I have kind of spread out over the space right here. Now, the thing about it, let me put up the box because what's going to happen, you're going to need, number one, you're going to need a lot of playing space to play this game. We played it on our kitchen table and we kind of stacked up the games because what happens is that the game basically walks you through the process. So let me start with the large cards first. And basically, they want you to stop, right? And they're packaged that way so you don't make the mistake. Now, these are the instruction cards, or they call the manual cards. So you can kind of look at these now as we do. It doesn't give away the game. So they kind of talk you through the process of what you need to do with the game. So that's these cards, right? Now, after that, you set out the other cards across the table, like so, and you need space above and beneath the cards to actually play the game. So you're going to need a lot of playing space for these 13 cards to be laid out. So I'll just keep one card here, and at the very end, you have here how the game ends. Now, there's a score that you need to get to change the fate of the victim or of the person that passed away. So how the game is set up now, you have time cards, which are your time travel cards. You have clue or magnifier cards. I need to disclose that this product was sent to me at no charge. All the opinions you're hearing are my own. No one is paying for or pre-approved this review. So let's get back to it. That allow you to use clues. You have your clue cards. You have your choice cards. And this is usually on top saying, stop, don't look at the back of these cards. So I'll just move this out of the way now too. So essentially how gameplay works. First, you use a time card to say, I want to move through time. So you have to now put that card back in the box, and then you pick which one of the time elements you want to jump to. So I'm going to go 60 years in the past from when this event happened in this example. So now I would flip the card over, I would read the card, and then I would make a choice of 3 choices. That's what these cards are for. So in this instance, this card number 1, I would say 1A, B, or C, depending on what choice I made, right? And so once you flip over that, because now this doesn't match that, right? So that's why I wanted to do it that way. So in this instance, I picked 1C, which I really didn't, but say I picked 1C. And that says that what I did made no change, positive or negative, to this event. Right? So if you get a positive number, that means you made a good choice. You get a negative number, that means your choice wasn't so good. And then you go back and forth through time with that. Now, as it works, there on the other side of the card, there's also a clue. So it might say this person was wearing a green suit, and the word suit is bold. So then you can actually get the clue about that suit. So if you want to implement or use the clue, you would then use the magnifier glass. And once they're all gone, they're all gone. But you would use a magnifying glass, and then you would pick the card that says suit, and then flip that over and read the clue that goes with it. So in the setup of the game, each big card needs space above it and beneath it as you play the game. That's why you need a lot of space. The game plays fairly well. And as you go, I mean, there's a little bit more elaborate instructions as you go along that I won't dig into too deep. But once you get done, you add your score up. Your game is, once you expire all your travel cards, time jump cards, your game is over. Because so there are more cards than there are jumps, right? So there's places that you won't jump to. So that's the premise of that. But once all your jump cards are done, your game is over. Now, you add up all the scores and then you compare the score to the end number chart, and it will let you know if you were successful or not changing the fate of the person that died at the very beginning. So that's the premise of the undo. Can you undo the events that led to that person's demise? Now, I will say a couple of things. The replayability of this game is not really high unless you don't play it that well. So say, for instance, you don't change the person's fate. So now you can play it again to try to change the person's fate, right? Or jump to different places that you didn't jump to the first time and try to change the person's fate. But if you successfully change their fate, I'm not sure what the replayability of it is, right? Now you can play with new people and kind of help guide them along, but the same two people probably won't play the game again. That's the only downside I see, is that the replayability is not that high. But I like the game. The look and feel of the game, the playability of the game. The first time you try to just open a box and go, it's going to be a little bit of slow going because of just the process of it, right? Reading the cards and the setup and making space for it and things like that. So it does, I will say this, it does open the door for the series of these games, because once you get down how to play it, the next one you play, you can just kind of jump into it and try to solve that mystery. Unfortunately, the replayability of this game is greatly reduced once you play it, but it does energize you to play other games in the series. I will say that I do want to play other games in the series now and see, how it plays out. I would like to maybe play it with more than one person, or maybe just play a new one with a bigger group. But other than that, other than the replayability, I really like the fit and finish of the game. The graphics are nice. It is easy to play once you actually set it up. And I like the storyline. So I probably will also be grabbing a hold of more games in this series. So hopefully you like this, and check out my next video, y'all. Bye-bye.